Okay, so here we are. Guys, it's beautiful out, by the way, doesn't it? Seasons have changed, I think. It's kind of nice. But I'm sitting here and I'm thinking about the fact that how real is the Bible? I mean, we've got to really kind of think about this for a second. I want someone to tell me how Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John could all tell the same story from their perspective. And when was the Bible written? Like, how does that work? And then let's go back even deeper, and let's go back even further, that they knew the son was going to be born. And nobody was near each other when that story was told. Now, where are they? I don't have to give you Bible verses. We have to really think about this. Because they brought him myrtle, they brought him gold, they brought him this, right? But who told them? And how did they know where to go? The concept of that scares the shit out of me. Do you all understand that part of this? Because I want someone to explain to me how no one lived in close quarters. No one had a video. Nobody had YouTube. Nobody had these things to be able to say it was written. Like, I don't know myself how to wrap my head around that. Does this make me crazy still? How much of a believer are we? What is the concept of that? Are we literally, seriously living biblical? There are commands that we're supposed to be following. Why aren't we following them? We got that far from the Bible, you guys. But our nation was founded on the Bible. Read history. I'm not good at history, but I know some people who are. And it blows my mind that they remember dates and they remember times and they remember this and I go, what the heck? Like, I don't think like that. But they do. And it intrigues me. And to see how other people's brain works intrigues me. And I say that all the time. But yet I'm crazy or I'm weird or I'm different, right? How do you perceive me? How do you see me? How do we see God? Do we see him as a human when he walked on earth? Do we see him, as it says, beyond omniscient, and it says it in the very beginning of the Bible? How deep are you willing to go? And this is where I start to look crazy. And people start to worry about me. And I completely understand that. I am a little worried about myself. But people see me every single day. People talk to me. But it's becoming less and less because you all think I look more and more crazy. Am I crazy? Because there's so much to Scripture. And there's so much to look at if you keep reading it and it gets smaller and you see it differently. And that's, I guess, where they talk about the narrowing of it all, right? And they talk about how not everybody's going to go with you and how, but it's in the Bible. But the deeper that I heal, the better I'm feeling and the more spiritual I'm becoming. And isn't that what they say we're supposed to be doing? Isn't that what the Bible tells us? To go deeper with Him? To just listen to Him? But why does that make me look crazy? I don't know yet. But if I don't keep going, we're never going to know, right? I am you. I feel, or I didn't feel for a long time. You hurt a lot of people that love you. But yet you're happier at the same time. But you don't have people to share that with because everybody thinks you're weird. And this is why they sit in an RV. I don't know what's next. Do you guys understand that? I got up. I worked today. I took a shower. My friend Mike next door, he helped me put my tire because I had it was shredded, it shredded somehow in the back or whatever. And it was the grace of God that I was in my car and I made it home. And I didn't know it was my tire. And that's where they say it's an attack. And they say that you're going to get attacked. It says it in the Bible. They say it. But that part, the demons and this and that, people don't want to believe. You only want to see the good. And we all just want to see the good. But do you know what's happening in the world? Do you have any idea what's happening at our borders? Do you have any idea that we are in World War III and people have been freaking telling us and telling us and telling us, and we didn't want to listen? There are people who were called prophets, who prophesied revelations coming. And we all debunked them. Or we all didn't believe them. Or we all say that they're occults. And we all say that they're crazy. And we all say that they're this. And he says he is the same yesterday, today, and tomorrow. But no one is willing to keep going to find out. And that terrifies you, and that terrifies me. But how are we going to know if we don't keep going? You have to start backing me, or I don't know how to keep going. We are all connected. I am telling you. If you only saw what I see, what you post. I see your hearts. I see your love, your vibrance, your colors, your creativity, and you're not scared to show it, and you're not scared to be you. And I see people being more bold. And it keeps me going. And it heals me from the inside. The way that some way, somehow, it's healing you. And I'm shaking at this idea. And I want to throw up and be sick at the same time. Hush. No. So I don't know anything else from this point. Understand that. I get up every day the same as the rest of you. I go to work. I do my best that I can at my job, and I'm really good at it, and it's really simple. And I have been praised at work, and I have been told I'm doing a great job. And I just keep going, and I just keep doing it. And I stay in my lane, and I do what I'm told, and I just do it. And so far, God has provided, and so far I have been taken care of. I don't know how else to explain that to people. The simpler you make your life, the better it becomes. The more you can enjoy it, the more you can do things. Why do we have to wait to turn 60, 70 something years old to live our best life and live on a retirement that we're never going to get because they've fucked with our Social Security? Sorry, I'm cussing. I know, I'm sorry. I'm not perfect. I'm human. I'm trying. I used to work with truck drivers. Just bear with me. That part just keeps still coming out. I'm a work in progress. I'm sorry. Look. I don't know. I eat like everybody else. I'm having some chicken nuggets, but I start to graze more. I don't have to have full meals. You live simple, but you get your weight to that point. And some days you just don't eat. And those are the days you really go spiritual. You really sink into God more. And it's called fasting. And it's a thing. I've talked about it. You've heard other people talk about it. You know what I mean? I'm not unhealthy. I eat. I eat a lot. I make 2 eggs every morning. I eat an avocado. But a lot of people who do nutrition do. We don't eat meals. You graze. You snack a lot. And you eat like every hour, every 2 hours. That's why people have stuff in their car. You carry some nuts in your car because you're just like, oh, I need to eat something, you know? But you don't have to eat something. And it's like, why do you have to have all this money? Because money's not even going to matter, right? Isn't that what they're saying? Like, dollar bills aren't a thing. It's like this Bitcoin or what? I don't freaking know. But it's happening, isn't it? Why am I still looking freaking crazy? Somebody please tell me. I'm me. You're you. I have some friends who are amazing photographers. And I go, man, I wish I could do that. I wish I could capture something like that. But that's not my gift. It's not who I am. But I could admire their work and I can go, dang, I think that's amazing. And genuinely in my heart, be proud of them that they have a gift. I wish I could sing. I can't freaking sing. I can sound great in the shower. But That's just in the shower, right? But I know some people who have amazing voices. And I go, dang, I wish I could do that. That's why I love music. You know? I couldn't read music. So I just had the beat. Because that was easy. There's only so many things you do with a beat. You know what I mean? And I could memorize that. And I could figure that out. But I couldn't read music. But yet I was in marching band. How does that work? How did I end up in marching band? Not being able to freaking read music, and to this day still cannot read music. I cannot hold a tune for the life of me. But yet I'll sing in the car. You better believe I'm going to sing in the car. I don't care. Like, why do we care so much? The wrong way. Can't we just care about somebody and who they are? You know, why can't we all just get along? Isn't that what God wants? Isn't the whole thing that love is God? How did we get so far from this, you guys? And there are parts of our grandparents and our parents that were good. Parents listened to some good music, man. Rolling Stones, the Eagles. I mean, they listened to some really cool music. And I go back and I think about all that. My dad's favorite was the Rolling Stones. I went to a Rolling Stones concert. I went to a Rolling Stones concert. I look around and I go, man, these people are old. But then we listen to Guns N' Roses, so guess who's old now? We are. We're old. It's weird, isn't it? It's weird to look at yourself differently than who you thought you were, who you wanted to be, I guess. I don't really know how to explain that. And when you look at your kids, they're always going to be your babies, right? But they evolve and they grow and they mature just like we did. But we want to protect them and we want to help them, and so we do things differently, right? Again, some of us were in survival mode, and so it was making sure they had a roof over their head and making sure they had food in their mouth and that they had clothes and they had shoes and they had this and they had that. So we were loving them by protecting them. We were giving them the necessities that they needed, the same way God is loving us and giving us the necessities that we need to grow. Being a survivor doesn't mean we were wrong. We just didn't know any better because nobody taught us any better. We didn't know any better because we didn't live biblically, because we weren't taught biblically. Until we came to our knees at some point, right? And we went, I am done. And we surrendered at some point in our walks, you guys. We all surrendered. But how do you let go of the ones that you love now that you know more? And know that you have to keep going. Because they don't want to listen. But we're never going to know unless we keep going, are we? And this is where he sits beside me right now. Because I don't have the strength to go forward. Knowing what I have to leave behind and knowing that I have to leave it to him. To work in them. And be patient enough at the same time to be still enough to wait for them. To figure it out. But keep going. It just wasn't explained to us right. They didn't know how to communicate right. And when I talk to you, it is not in my own strength, because I'm telling you that everything I'm saying to you right now completely makes sense in my head. And it completely, totally adds up. But I don't know if how you perceive it adds up. Because nobody is saying anything back. So you don't know whether you are sounding crazy or not. But do you keep going? I don't have all the answers. Do you all understand this? I don't know about revival. Only that there's been revivals. And these people shook. And I've been to them. And they shook. And I was one of them. And there are people ahead of us right now who are witnesses to that. But we're not talking. And there are people who I've let go who know this because it happened to them as well. And we couldn't control our shaking. We couldn't control what was happening. But we knew it had to have been God. Because it was doing something in us, wasn't it? Because here I am sitting here today telling you about it, but it didn't happen immediately. It happened in God's timing. I'm in an RV because I wanted that. And I had no idea how that was going to look. And I had no idea what that was going to mean. But when I started my journey a year ago, there were witnesses in that park who watched me physically change. Who watched me be able to lay out in the sun, in the humidity, because I lived in Arizona in the dry. And I could outdo that season. And it didn't change who I was. It didn't change what I did. I was the same yesterday, today, and tomorrow. But I was human, and I made a lot of mistakes. But I learned from my mistakes. And I was bullied. And I was told that I was too fat to work out. And there was a restraining order that was put on me, or wanted to be put on me, because I was me. And I still kept a smile on my face. And I still let you scream and yell at me to my face. You were witnesses to the good and to the bad of me, were you not? And there are people in this town who have told me I could no longer allowed in their areas. Because I was being blamed for something, because I was with somebody. So I was guilty by association. And this person may not have done everything perfectly, because they're in their journey and they're trying to learn too. And somebody has to be patient enough for them to learn too. But wasn't wrong and has proof. Because it happened to me. And when you cause division, it is not of God. And when you sign your soul to the devil, he owns you. And he will make sure that you stay under his wings. But I discerned with my heart. And I saw sheep's in wolf clothing. And you want to exile the person who also saw it, who is very spiritual right along with me. But you know what? She doesn't believe in the Bible. She believes in Torah. You didn't know that about her now, did you? Because you never stopped to talk to anybody to get to know them as who they are and what they're going through. And who has been clean from meth for over a year and a half and has fought and fought and fought the system to get her children back when someone wanted to threaten them and tell them that they were going to go to CPS on them to not get their kids back and call them white trash. And so she rebuttals and puts it publicly and says, you will not mess with me and you will not mess with my family. And they turn around and threaten. That's the reality, you guys. But you never stopped to get to know somebody now, did you? I told you all many stories about myself. But you all thought I was weird. I brought God to the table to almost every single one of you. And every time I wanted to get together, and every time I wanted to have a bonfire, every time I just wanted us to all chill, it became a thing. Because I caused a shift in the park. You're damn right I caused a shift in the park, and I didn't even know it at the time. And I hope I'm shifting every single one of your damn hearts right now. You want to stand there and judge what you don't know because you don't know all the puzzle pieces? Tell me God's not real now, y'all. I dare you to tell me that God's not real.